everyone. Welcome back to Routine English Podcast.
We're so glad you could join us today. We have a great show lined up.
Alex, have you ever really stopped to consider that the most mundane task in our week, shopping for groceries, is actually a meticulously engineered psychological battleground?
A battleground? Sophia, it's where I grab kale and try not to accidentally buy the $15 artisanal mayonnaise. It's a chore, not a conflict.
But that sense of chore is exactly what they want you to feel. Because if you were truly present, you'd realize that the average shopper, you and I, we spend over 40% more than we intended to every single time we walk through those automatic doors.
Okay, that statistic is jarring. 4 years of my life are spent shopping, and 40% of my budget is impulse buys. It sounds like institutionalized manipulation, which frankly makes sense.
It is, and that's our topic today. The hidden science and surprisingly deep emotional history behind the act of grocery shopping. It's about survival, capitalism, and consumer surrender.
Consumer surrender. I like that framing. Let's start with the immediate context. Why is the produce section always the first thing you hit? Why the explosion of color and mist?
It's the psychological palate cleanser. You walk in and you're immediately bathed in freshness. It's the visual promise. You are making healthy, virtuous choices.
Right, it establishes a moral baseline. I bought organic asparagus, therefore I can now justify that family-sized bag of barbecue chips later.
Exactly. It's anchoring. They anchor your brain to virtue and quality right away, setting a high emotional benchmark for the rest of the trip.
And the misty spray? That's pure theatrics. It doesn't actually extend the life of the lettuce much, does it? It just makes the cilantro look like it was just harvested by a dew-kissed farmer.
It's sensory marketing 101. The subtle sound of the spray, the smell of damp earth and fresh fruit, it slows you down. That pace deceleration is crucial.
Because if I slow down, I look around. And if I look around, I see the pre-chopped $12 fruit salad I absolutely do not need.
Ding, ding, ding. Now let's move into the central layout issue, the great separation. Why are milk, eggs, and bread always in the far corners of the store?
The staple strategy. The things we absolutely must have, the traffic magnets, are placed furthest from the entrance, forcing us to traverse the entire store safari.
The store safari. I love that. And what happens on that safari? You pass the high-margin, low-necessity items.
The junk food islands, the center aisles. That's where the profit margins balloon. The perimeter is where the expensive refrigeration costs are, but the center is cheap, dry storage filled with highly processed, addictively engineered snacks.
But Alex, the flip side of that cold analysis is the feeling of abundance. When I walk down that aisle, I don't feel manipulated. I feel the safety of knowing every flavor of cookie I could ever want is available.
That's the core difference between us. You see choice and comfort. I see manufactured scarcity and manufactured need.
But isn't that manufactured need part of the comfort of modern life? Historically, securing food was terrifying. Now it's a relaxing 45-minute stroll.
We've traded one terror for another, the terror of the bill. Let's talk about pricing strategies, the good, better, best paradigm.
The anchoring effect in action. The premium product, wildly expensive, exists not to be bought, but to make the mid-tier product seem like a sensible bargain.
Precisely. If the store brand is $3 and the mid-tier is $5 and the imported Italian fancy version is $12, suddenly $5 feels like responsible decadence.
And we gravitate toward the middle because our brains hate extremes. We don't want to seem cheap, but we don't want to be wasteful.
And this is where the shelf placement is brutal. The most profitable items are placed directly at eye level, the bullseye zone. We literally shop with our necks straight.
While the cheaper, often store-brand options require you to perform the shopper squat down on the bottom shelf.
It's a mild physical barrier designed to discourage the budget shopper. It exploits laziness.
But what about the kids? The cereal aisle is a battlefield targeted squarely at the 4 and under demographic.
That's dark, Sophia. Those sugary boxes with the cartoon mascots, they're intentionally placed at the height children see when sitting in the cart.
It's retail warfare waged against parents via child pester power. They know if a kid asks for it repeatedly, eventually the parent will concede for peace.
It's a well-documented phenomenon, the grocery store groan. It's highly effective, sadly.
Now let's talk about something that provides genuine warmth, at least for me, the deli counter. The smell of roasted chicken.
Ah, the sensory attack of the rotisserie chicken. It's often strategically placed near the entrance or the back corner, creating a powerful, hunger-inducing aroma throughout the store.
It smells like home and dinner. It makes me feel hungry, which makes me a less rational shopper.
Correct. Shopping hungry is the number one mistake. You buy volume, complexity, and instant gratification items.
And the chicken itself is often sold at a loss, isn't it? It's a loss leader.
Exactly. They lose 50 cents on the chicken, but because you bought that warm chicken, you also picked up the $6 pre-made mashed potatoes and the $7 Caesar salad kit. The whole basket is the win.
It truly is an ecosystem of calculated necessity and temptation.
Let's transition to the checkout lane. This is the final frontier of impulse buying.
The candy bars, the celebrity gossip magazines, the oddly specific seasonal chapsticks. The I deserve this small treat section.
It capitalizes on frustration and fatigue. You've been making difficult budget choices for 40 minutes. You're tired, you're waiting, and suddenly that brightly packaged novelty item looks irresistible.
It's the reward system for completing the shopping task.
But we have to discuss the self-checkout. That changes the dynamic entirely. It removes the human element of judgment.
I feel more accountable to the cashier somehow. The machine doesn't care if I'm buying 3 family-sized frozen pizzas.
And from the store's perspective, it's brilliant. It makes the shopper do the labor for free, and it increases throughput. But here's the twist, Sophia. Something most people never realize.
Lay it on me, Alex. The deep secret of the grocery aisle.
It's the lighting. Specifically, the color temperature of the lighting in different sections.
I've noticed the produce section is always slightly cooler, brighter light.
Exactly. In the produce and meat departments, they use spectrums designed to make reds redder and greens greener. It's often a slightly pink or blue-tinted LED mix.
So that plump tomato looks perfectly ripe, even if it was picked a week ago.
Yes, it maximizes perceived freshness. But once you leave the perimeter and hit the middle aisles, the lighting shifts to warmer, yellower tones.
Warmer tones. Why? To make the packaging stand out?
Not just packaging. It subconsciously signals comfort, warmth, and preservation. Think of the warm glow of a pantry or a hearth. It creates a sense of safe, long-lasting storage for those dry goods.
Wow. So we are literally moving through different emotional temperature zones based on what the store wants us to feel about the product.
You feel cold, crisp vitality near the veggies and warm, cozy comfort near the pasta and cereal. It's entirely manufactured sensory perception.
And I guess they adjust the music too? I always notice the slow, ambient music that makes me drift.
Lower tempo music is proven to reduce the pace of walking by about 20%, which correlates directly to higher basket size. Speed kills profits.
This whole system relies on us being slightly zoned out, slightly hungry, and slightly susceptible to aesthetic suggestion.
It relies on us being human.
So, what's the takeaway here? Should we hate the grocery store or appreciate the genius of the design?
We should simply go in aware. The moment you recognize the store safari, the anchoring, the lighting tricks, you regain a measure of autonomy.
I think I will always still love the bakery smell, Alex. That's just pure, uncomplicated joy.
Which is strategically fanned into the main aisle, Sophia. Even that joy is a calculated component.
All right, fine. But next time, I'm bringing a map and a flashlight for the bottom shelf treasures. Thank you for dissecting the modern ritual of the weekly shop, Alex.
My pleasure, Sophia. Until next time, stay vigilant and avoid the $12 artisanal mayonnaise.
I can't promise anything.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
See you next time on the Routine English Podcast.